Hey, what's up? It's Jason Yun, athleticrevolutionhilliard.com. Welcome. I wanted to make a quick video introducing you and our Athletic Revolution champions and Athletic Revolution families to our 47-day ketogenic diet challenge. So we launched, my daughter's in the background, so if you can hear her. Basically launched this challenge in May of 2015 and had a lot of success with our adults, and now we wanted to introduce it to our kids. Please understand, we never want any child, any adult, any teenager to ever go on a diet. Okay, I understand ketogenic diet is in the name of the ketogenic diet, but it's not really a diet, it's more of a lifestyle. So most diets will cut calories severely, which will cut nutrients, which will cut fat, which will cut all the things that a growing body needs and maintaining a healthy adult weight needs. Okay, which we never want. The ketogenic diet is not a calorie counting diet. All right, most people are happy with that, and it basically becomes a lifestyle. Okay, which is what we want to create, because usually when you go on a diet, you usually do it to lose weight, and then after you come off the diet, you gain that weight back, and usually you gain more, and you gain more body fat. Okay, and it's just a cyclical process, and we don't want that. We want you to be able to eat 365 days a week or a year and be completely healthy. So basically what ketogenic is it's basically low carb. So typically the cutoff point is 50 carbohydrates or less per day. Okay? Fat is increased tremendously, so I eat anywhere between 200 and 300 grams of fat. All right? Now when people hear that, they say, hey, isn't that dangerous? I've been told you're supposed to eat low fat. Well, that's where they've been wrong. You've been lied to for more than 50 years about low fat, low cholesterol, all that stuff. Fat is the most important thing for the brain. Your brain is made of 2/3 of fat, okay? And saturated fat is one of the most important fats. It is the most important fat for fueling your brain and your body and producing ketones, so you can run on ketones rather than glucose. So when you're running on glucose, you're basically known as a sugar burner, and then we want to convert you from a sugar burner to a fat burner. Okay, so what that happens when you eat carbohydrates, all that turns into glucose. So whether it's whole wheat bread, oatmeal, pasta, cereal, donuts, ho-hos, potato chips, Pringles, whatever, any kind of carbohydrate, that's going to be turned into glucose. And when that glucose comes in the body, insulin is going, or your blood sugar is going to spike. Insulin's going to come in and try and put that blood sugar back down to normal homeostasis, because that's where it wants to be, homeostasis. When you're eating carbohydrates throughout the day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, your blood sugar is going up, then it's coming down, you get hungry, you've got to eat, otherwise you're going to get cranky and hungry. Blood sugar goes back up for lunch, down, up, okay? And a lot of kids and a lot of adults are eating snacks as well, so blood sugar is going up and down, up and down, up and down, okay? Problem is, when your blood sugar is up, okay, insulin's up, that means you can't be burning fat, all right? You're actually storing fat and you're making your fat cells bigger. That's a big problem. You probably know we have an obesity epidemic for both adults and kids. Kids can't lose weight if their blood sugar is going up and down like this. Adults can't lose weight if their blood sugar is going up and down like this throughout the day. All right, it's absolutely impossible. So we want to take you from a sugar burner to a fat burner. Okay, so when we become a fat burner, we're basically running on ketones. So we keep our carbohydrates low, we increase our fat, we moderate our protein, so you don't need as much protein because fat is protein sparing. With kids, especially if they're at a normal weight or they're an athlete, they don't necessarily need to do hardcore keto. They can get away with a little bit more carbs, and especially if they're an athlete, more carbs might be necessary, and just depending on how they feel, more carbs might be necessary. So a low carb, high fat program might be needed. With the ketogenic challenge, I am personally working with you and coaching with you, and there's a keto group that we put you in, and there's a whole keto webinar but basically goes over everything that you need to know about ketosis and if this is the best thing for you and your child and your family. Because we do recommend the entire family gets on this program, not just a child. It is the parent's responsibility. It's the parent's responsibility to show the child how to eat and how to practice eating for a lifetime. Okay, so what we do as when they're a child is going to affect what they do as a teenager, and it's going to affect it as they get older through adulthood. The dangers of eating carbohydrates now is, again, that blood sugar spike, up and down, up and down, up and down. That's going to affect their schoolwork. It's going to affect their body image. It's going to affect their confidence, and it's going to affect a lot of things. And then with the dangers of constantly eating high carbohydrates, and I consider high carbohydrates to be over 100 grams or more, the dangers of doing that day in, day out, week in, week out, throughout their entire life. Hold on. Here you go. Okay. So doing that their entire life will cause some major chronic issues later on in life. So we're not supposed to grow old, 65, 75, 85, and die from some chronic disease. That just doesn't happen. It's basically because what we do with our nutrition and what we do with our lifestyle that causes us to get a chronic disease and die prematurely. Okay? You're just supposed to basically grow old and just die because you are too old. Your cells can't take it anymore because they're too old. It's not because you're supposed to get diabetes or heart disease or Alzheimer's disease and all that stuff. Okay, so I go over some major problems that can occur. I go over some major problems that can occur when you are not in a state of ketosis and you're constantly consuming carbs throughout your entire lifetime. But basically, we want to control a child's weight and we want to control their body fat stores. And most athletes want as low a body fat as possible. And the ketogenic diet does that. Okay? Does it absolutely perfectly. If you tell your doctor that you're doing a ketogenic diet, then it's probably not going to be the best idea to tell them, because most doctors are not going to be on this. Most doctors are going to be the low fat, low cholesterol, eat 50, 60, 70% of your carbs from, or 50, 60, 70% of your diet from carbohydrates. Okay? Because they think carbohydrates are essential and they think they are basically energy. They are energy, but when glucose is present, we're going to use that glucose as energy first. So glucose and ketones can't be present at the same time, but we want ketones because it's a much more efficient fuel, and you're basically burning fat all day long. Okay, because when you're got the ketones, your blood sugar is stable, you don't get hungry, you can control everything. Brain power works a lot better. Body fat is burning body fat. Okay, it's very, very good. But most doctors are still going to recommend that stuff unless you find a doctor that's specifically low carb, high fat, or in a paleo type mindset, okay, which most doctors are not. Okay, most doctors have their nutrition, their total nutrition, they either have none or it's what they do on their own, which is minimal because doctors are very busy, just like you and me, or it's basically they've been taught the low fat, high carb methodology, and that obviously isn't working because we have a bunch of overweight kids, a bunch of overweight adults, and we have major sicknesses and heart disease and all this stuff going on. Like I said, it is the parents' responsibility, so I would recommend going to the link down below and just registering for the ketogenic diet challenge. Once you register, you don't have to enter. When you register, you will be sent the webinar, and it's 2 parts. I believe it's like at least 75 minutes, I think, of information going over the ketogenic diet. This is not something you can just jump into, so it does take some planning, and I recommend everybody watch the webinar. And you basically will learn what you need to learn about the ketogenic diet. Recipes come with the ketogenic diet, so again, parents' responsibility to learn this information and to teach it to your child so they know exactly what and why they're doing it. The recipes in there are absolutely delicious. Fat tastes a lot better than low fat. Okay, With low fat, you basically have to add a lot of carbs, a lot of sugar to make it taste good. Okay? Fats naturally taste good. Okay? A lot of great tasting recipes. So pasta, oatmeal, whole wheat bread, all that stuff, and all that stuff I just mentioned has anti-nutrients in it, which is basically leaching minerals from the body, so we can't absorb that. That's another problem with a high-carb diet. High-carb diet also causes a lot of inflammation. A lot of inflammation in the body, and that's not good. Inflammation basically opens you up to everything. That includes chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, obesity, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, cancers, but also acute diseases. So colds, sicknesses, flus, fevers, belly aches, sore throats, ear aches, that kind of stuff. Okay, all that stuff we don't want. So there's awesome recipes in there for pasta, ice cream. There's Count Chocula recipe in there. All right. There's pancakes. What else is there? What else is there? What else do you eat? I don't know. There's a whole bunch of recipes in there, and they're all delicious. So ice cream, pancakes, I routinely eat every day, but it's just not Aunt Jemima, or it's not Breyer's ice cream. Okay, it's loaded with fat, and it's loaded with good, healthy ingredients. Okay, again, the webinar. Watch the webinar. If you're going to do this, if you have questions, you can post a comment down below or email me, and my email will be down below as well. Okay, you can also call me if you have specific questions, because this is a lifestyle change. It's not, hey, I'm going to do this for 47 days, then I'm going to go back to eating this way. No, we don't eat. We want to cut the carbs from our life, because that's basically what's keeping us from our full potential, our workout potential, our school performance, okay, and our life performance. Okay, we want you to have the best overall life. We want your kid to have the best overall life, and they can't do that if they're eating pasta and whole wheat bread and cereals and all kinds of stuff. So, carbohydrates, there's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. There is essential amino acids. Amino acids are protein, and there is essential fatty acids, which is fats. Okay, no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. So that's it. That's the keto challenge. Again, we want the entire family to do it, not just one child or two children, whole family. So go at it. If you have any questions, let me know. Click the link down below. You can read all about the ketogenic diet and everything. But I just wanted to introduce it to our Athletic Revolution family and go from there. So I'll see you at the workouts. If you're not registered for Athletic Revolution, go to the registration tab, click on that, you get a 2-week free trial, try it out. We're going to help your child become the best they can be. Okay? And this is the little noisemaker here. So this is Spencer. So she is a ketogenic baby, low carb, high fat. Sometimes her meals are ketogenic, sometimes they're higher carb, low carb, high fat, but they're still low carb, and sometimes they're paleo. But everything is good. She's only had sugar one time, and that was on her birthday, and she got sick from it. Is that a coincidence? I think not. All right. So let's take your child from a sugar burner to a fat burner. Stay strong, stay positive, be the improvement warrior. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.